Mouths are very important when it comes to showcasing emotions. So in this video, I'll show you how to express loads of different emotions just using the mouth. Alright, starting off with a neutral kind of look on the face, you want to start off with a line and then mark the midpoint somewhere there. And then along this midpoint, you want to draw something like an arc, like a valley. It's going to be the middle of your lip right there. And then just kind of top it off with slightly curved lines, I'd say, just along the guidelines, and it should look something like that. It's pretty simple. I'll do another example down here without the guidelines. So you start off with your arc and then just top it off with smooth lines on each side, something like that. And you can mark in the lower lip if you want to. So this time we're gonna do a 3/4 view, the same thing but a 3/4 view. So you want to draw the original guideline we drew earlier, then just align it. You want to kind of imagine it wrapping around the face of the character, since the face is kind of like a sphere. And in order to pull this off really good, you have to have a decent understanding of the whole 3D aspect of it. But if you don't, it's all good. You'll get the hang of it the more you draw, so just no worries, okay? So once you draw this thing, you kind of want to imagine where the halfway point is going to be. I'm estimating it will be somewhere there, and that's where you want to draw the valley kind of thing, the arc, and then just follow the rest of the guidelines and just top it off. It should look something like that. Since the other side of the mouth is kind of hidden, you're not going to see it. I'm going to draw it again here without the guidelines. So it should look something like this from a 3/4 view. Alright, so say you want to add a bit of emotion, right? Like a slight smirk or slight frown. What you're going to do is you're going to take that original drawing we did, the first one we did of the mouth. So you just want to draw that. And here, what you want to focus on is the edges of the mouth. Let's say you want to make him smirk a bit, just tilt the edges up a little bit, like that, and like that, just ever so slightly, and you're gonna get that little smirk effect. So say you want to make him frown a little bit, right? Nothing crazy, just a slight little frown. Draw that original mouth we did, and on the edges, just add a little, like just make it go down a little bit on the edges, right there and right there. That's really the most important thing when it comes to showing those types of slight emotions. Alright, so now let's give our character a big old smile. So you're gonna start off with a sort of upside down trapezium trapezoid type of shape. Is it trapezium or trapezoid? I don't know what the difference is, but it's something like that, you know. And then you, after this, you kind of want to round out the edges. You don't want them to be too sharp, especially at the bottom. And you want each side of the shape to be kind of have a curve to it. That's how I like to draw them. Just kind of have a curve to it. And then for the top, have a little curve to it as well. And then finish it off, something like that. And now for the teeth, you don't have to draw the teeth fully in. I just do something like this, just the edges, and that's good. And since the teeth are going to be wrapping around his mouth, there's going to be some space on the sides that's just going to be like the void in his mouth. You know what I mean? Since the teeth don't go across his mouth infinitely, they're wrapping around. So there's going to be some space on the edges and something like that. And you're good. Alright, this time let's do a different type of smile. So you want to draw a little arc. That'll be like the top lip. And then you want to draw an even bigger arc. And this is going to be the bottom lip. And then just kind of round it out like this on that side and on that side. Kind of looks like a sausage, doesn't it? Pause. Alright, so just like finish out the outline, something like that. That's pretty much the main part of the smile. And now you just want to draw in the teeth, the edges of the teeth. And honestly, bro, that's it. Like nice little simple smile, different type of smile. All right, now let's do a bit of an angry emotion. It's actually going to be exactly like the smile that we did, the first one, but upside down. So just draw like a trapezium type of shape. Then just kind of round out the edges as we did before. And like add some curves to the sides. You know what I mean? Just fixing up the outline right there. And then doing in the teeth and the edges of the teeth. That's going to become like the void of the mouth. That's kind of funny. As you can see, it's kind of looking like a character's angry, like something. And I'm just coloring in the void of his mouth. I'm sorry, that just kind of cracks me up. The void of his mouth, and then just like finished up the edge of his. The edge. You can add a little thing to the edges right there to kind of accentuate the emotion. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be that one. Alright, now let's do some more conversational type angles, like if your character is just talking or whatever, just regularly. So you're gonna start off with a very kind of similar trapezium shape to the one we've just done. if your character is talking from the front, just neutrally, not much emotion, just chatting, you know what I mean? So you kind of want to cut it in half. So the upper part is going to be the upper teeth, and then the rest you can kind of just shade it in. So I'm going to do, you can kind of mark the tongue if you want to, like what I'm doing here, and then just shade everything in the middle in. And yeah, it's pretty simple actually. All right, now say your character is talking, but from a 3/4 view. You kind of want to do the same trapezium shape, but from one side you want it to be flat across, something like this. So it's not gonna be exactly a trapezium, but like one side is gonna be flat. You know what I mean? And then just do everything else the same. Just shade in the upper teeth. I don't know why I drew these so small. That's my bad. My bad. Just shade in the upper teeth, and yeah. Alright, now say your character's talking with a bit of a smile on their face, right? So you want to do the trapezium shape where the top half is longer than the bottom half. Kind of like the smile right up there. And then like to kind of just join everything together. And just as you just done before, do the upper lip. I mean, not the upper lip, the upper teeth. You can mark in the tongue, then shade everything else in between. And you got a talking what? A talking mouth, I guess you could say. Alright, this time we're gonna do another talking angle because why not? So you're gonna draw a shape that looks something like this. I'm not really sure how to describe it. Just do what I'm doing. I don't know what name would this shape be. I don't know. Kind of like a interesting looking diamond. But anyway, so you do that and then you want to mark in the upper lip, the upper teeth. And what's cool about this one is you kind of want to mark the lower teeth in an interesting kind of way, in a way that you're going to be able to see how the teeth are wrapping around your mouth. You know what I mean? Since you're kind of looking at it from above, since their mouth is more open, so you can see their teeth more from above. So it's gonna be a shape that's kind of sort of like that, and you're gonna mark in the tongue and just shade everything else in. I hope I explained that pretty good. If I didn't, just let me know, and I'll try and explain it better. Okay. And this is kind of the thing with mouths. Like here, I'm just drawing a random shape, and I'm just adding in teeth, and it kind of looks like a interesting type of mouth expression, facial expression, whatever. It just looks like an interesting expression. Just mess around, experiment with different types of shapes, and you're gonna see some pretty cool stuff. Alright, here let's do kind of like a yelling angle. So you want to start off with a line at the top, then just kind of bring it down. I'm not really sure how to describe what this overall shape would be. It's kind of like a square and a triangle kind of mushed together. As you can see the end there, how it's kind of looks like a triangle, and then just bring it down flat, something like that. So it's gonna be arguing or yelling from like the 3/4 view. You know what I mean? And this is kind of how the shape looks, just like a square and a triangle. All right, so I'm now just making the lines darker, making the outline darker, trying to make the shape look cleaner, basically. Nothing crazy. All right, so after this, you want to do the teeth, the upper teeth. And here we're going to take the same concept of being able to see how the teeth are wrapping around, just like in the last angle we did. So here you're going to kind of see how the teeth are wrapping around the mouth, and figuring out when to show the teeth wrapping around and when not show the teeth wrapping around. It's something you're just gonna get the hang of the more you draw. So just don't stress it. All right, don't stress about it. All right. And now we're gonna do the lower teeth. Since his mouth is really wide open, you're gonna be able to see the lower teeth wrapping around the mouth as well. So here I'm just doing the teeth. It's just the lower teeth just gonna go all the way to the back, and you're gonna be able to see wrapping around the mouth. It's gonna look something like that. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not too sure I like that. I'll fix it later though. All right, so just gonna start the tongue somewhere here. Somewhere here seems about fine. Just bringing it up. It's gonna be this type of shape. Tongues are really satisfying to draw for some reason. Does that sound kind of weird? I don't know. My bad. Just never mind. Just ignore me. All right, now just color in the void of his mouth. I mean, shade in the void of his mouth. Now I'm just gonna be making a few tweaks here and there, cleaning up the outlines. Should look something like that. Yeah, that's alright. That's alright. Alright, so for another yelling angle, this time from the front. I probably should have done this first, but hey, who cares? So now we're gonna do like his mouth really wide open in this kind of shape, and then just mirror the top part with the bottom part. It's kind of like one of the previous mouths we just drew. That in that kind of, I don't know what shape to describe it as, bro. So let's just mark in the upper teeth, and then the lower teeth. We're gonna be able to see them wrapping around, something like that. Okay, that's for that side, and that's for that side right there. And yeah, now just doing in the tongue. This is actually easier to do than I thought it would be. I think we should. Yeah, I'm just marking. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add in the little thingaling that's in the back of your mouth. I don't know what it's called. The uvula, I think that's what it's called. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna add that in for no reason, just why not. So now I'm just gonna shade around it, looking something like that, looking pretty decent. And since this part of the back is darker, it's more inside the mouth. It's gonna be darker. So just make sure to remember that. So I'm just doing that in right there. This looks like a time lapse, bro. It's not, I promise. All right, just make it clearer because why not? And that's actually that shape right there. Now just gonna make the outlines darker. Something like that seems pretty alright. And then yeah, now I'm just making the outlines darker. I'm basically done though. Alright, I think this is gonna be our final angle for the day, for the video. We're gonna do a character gritting his teeth, kind of like, I guess, in the middle of a fight or something, really angry kind of expression. So we're gonna draw this type of shape right here. I still don't know how to describe it. And here his mouth is not gonna be open, so it's just gonna be his teeth, like just, you know what I mean? And might as well add in the canines just to show the animosity, something like that. Ooh, do I like that? I'm not too sure. Here, let me erase it real quick. Bring the canine in a little closer. Am I rocking with that? I don't know. Let's just leave it like that for now. Now I'm just gonna make the outlines a little darker. Oh, I'm sorry. It just really annoys me how that canine's looking on this side. All right. Yeah, that's all right. I think that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Now I'm just gonna make the other outlines darker, and it's a pretty simple expression to do, in my opinion at least. Might as well just add a few lines here and there just to like really showcase the anger. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, adding some little lines there to show to show the anger. And yo, I think that's gonna be it. So that's really it when it comes to mouth. You know, just mess around with different shapes and try to make something of it. You know, like what I'm doing right here. And something I also realized is frowny expressions, if you make them upside down, just look like smiley expressions. Like right here, I'm doing the exact same shape, just upside down, and it kind of looks like a smile from a frown. So, you know, just try to figure out that kind of stuff, and, you know, you'll catch on to it. So, yeah, that's the video, and I'll see you in the next one.